Okay then, if your fan is making a clunking noise every time you hit a bump, there's probably something to do with the bushing, and I discovered that it's this little devil here, which is the bushing for the torsion bar rear saddle, and it seems to be worn out or out of place, so I'm going to have a go at replacing it. Couldn't find anything on the old YouTube, so we're going to try and put something up there to help somebody else. Anyway, let's go. Okay, I've got the van jacked up and I'm just going to take the wheel off first. Okay then, next thing I'm going to do is undo this torsion bar adjuster screw. I've done this a few times and had it undone, but apparently you've got to take the nut right off. I don't know, so I'm going to find out. It's located just behind the fuel tank. Okay, the other one's over there, look, for the other side. Alright, so I'm going to try. You're going to need a long reach socket to get that off, or an adjustable spanner with a bar on it, and a lot of patience. Anyway, let's see what we do. I'll probably wire brush it off a bit first just to get the crap out. Just a little tip, don't forget to measure how far the nut is up the adjuster screw, so that, because it might affect the ride height. What I use is this little carpenter's set square. Look, I just adjust it to the right thing, then it's a no-brainer for me. I can just put it back on, and when that fits, we know we're right. Okay, I fitted a little, I just put a mole grip on the upper side of the threads there, just to hold it so as when I undo it, the bolt doesn't drop out of its fitting, which is no problem putting it back in, provided there's no tension on it. Make sure you don't put it down there or something where you're going to bugger up the thread, so yeah? Okay then, the nut's off there, and if you look up in there, or wiggle it about, there it is. That's the bush that we're going to try and replace. Alright, I think with a pair of long nose pliers now I can wiggle that out of there. I'll let you know in a minute. Right, it ain't quite enough to get it out, so what I've done is, remember there's no tension on the bar, I put a jack underneath the lower bearing there and just jacked it up, and that turns the lever down at the back. Obviously don't jack it so much that it comes off your stabilising blocks, and I was able to wiggle it out with a pair of pliers, excuse the phone going everywhere, by sticking a bar up in there. Sorry, where are we? There we go. So I got a bar up in there and I just pried that down a bit carefully, and it was enough to wiggle it out with the pliers. Mind your fuel tank, it's made of plastic, yeah, don't forget that. Don't get crunch up. As you can see, the old ones, yeah, Herefordshire roads, yeah. So glad I pay my car tax for all the repairs, you know. Anyway, we're going to try and put the new one in. Be back in a minute. We're just going to compare the old one, she's a bit tired, with the shiny new one. And you can see how much the old one's got deformed from being bashed about. You know, it's probably been in there since the van was built, so it's done pretty good, eh? Okay, I've got the new one in place, so next thing I think I'm going to do is just drop the jack and see if it's sitting in the right position, yeah? Right, we've tightened the nut back up, everything seems to be in place. I'll just show you, there you go, see? It's a real handy way of just remembering, it saves you remembering or measuring, just do that. Obviously you can use a tape or whatever you like, but try and get it the same as, so as the ride height is maintained, unless you want to adjust it, of course. Right, okay, there it is, it's in place there. That's the one the other side, if you can just about see that. I don't know if you can. And I'm going to probably adjust that one out. I'm going to probably change that one out now. I'm just waiting for it to come. Just looking now. I've done quite a bit of work on the front of this one over the last few years, but I'm looking now and these are looking like, you know, they're ready to give up. And the big bush on the, can you see that one at the front there? That might be the next thing to do. I'll make a little video on it. I've already done the ones on my T5 over there. Can you believe it? I had to put new bushings in it. Anyway, you know, roads being as they are. It wasn't too hard a job, he says. With big spanners, you can get it done. Right, I'm going to pop the old wheel back on, then I'll give her a bit of a test, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the clunking noise is gone. Well, I just took her for a test drive up the lane, and wow, what a difference. Really is. So as soon as the other bushing comes through, I'm going to change that one as well. It really does change the ride, and a lot less bumpy and clunky. Okay, brilliant.